Good evening, everyone. This is Yusuf Chowdhury once again, tuning in from San Antonio, Texas. Just give me a few minutes here. I'm going to start in 2 minutes. Ooh, right. All right, folks, let's see what we got today. Okay, so one of the questions that I got is how to look for affordable deals on SEO tools or social media tools. Okay. So typically, if you do want to use any kind of social media or any kind of search engine optimization tools, there are some free out there, but they don't work that well. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. But you can try some of them, the free version. Now, for the paid version, most of them you'll find it for like maybe 14 days trial or 30 days trial that you can use. Okay. But there are some awesome uh, companies that you do want to utilize it. And one of my favorite places to basically find the best deals for any kind of programs or software, especially with digital marketing, is called AppSumo. It's a very popular website. So let me show you what they offer. How y'all doing today? If y'all have any question on digital marketing, please feel free to ask. So one of the questions I got is, how can I find a good deal on these, services? So for example, I had a question about Relay That, right? Relay That. It's a tool similar to Canva. Okay, so this tool is similar to Canva, but it costs like $25 a month. Okay, so for me, that's not an issue. That's easy money to invest. But for some of you out there, might be under a budget or maybe from overseas. And if you do want to invest in something like that, what you can do, you can go to appsumo.com right here. Hey, Kimberly, what's going on? Everyone says, hey, Charlie. Everyone says like they like the background. So that's funny. Thank you. So if you look at this AppSumo, they have different categories like from CRM softwares, client management, content, courses, data analysis, design, e-commerce, human resource, lead generation, marketing, productivity, SEO, sales, security, social media, stock photos, support, video, web development, and WordPress. So the cool thing about AppSumo, so for example, let's see if I can find Relay That, because that's one of the questions that I got. So Relay That costs like $25 a month, and they had an offer, is sold out, but now they have a new offer. Typically, it costs like $1,200 if you invested like almost every month for different packages. But instead of doing that, you can get this either lifetime membership or 1 year offer for like $50. Okay, that's not bad. That's like an awesome deal, right? I can look for WordPress tools, what's hot right now. There's some freebie software. So this is a very good resource, but don't go crazy on it because you'll find tons of amazing stuff. You can end up buying all of them as if it's like on sale. Actually, when things are on sale, you're not saving money. You're actually spending more if you go crazy on these stuff, right? So you can see what kind of awesome. They have a social animal. What is this? Sunwise, for those who do work on the media stuff. Emails, human resource. I mean, it's like endless. So all these expensive softwares that you find on the market, you can really buy it from AppSumo, right? So that's the one that I recommend, that if you do want to invest in some of these applications, some of these softwares, some of these tools for your business, for your marketing, for your website, check out AppSumo, okay? Because one of the things that I highly recommend, that if you use any tools out there, free is good, but you know what? The premium one will get you most of the accurate services and features and the result than just the free one. You know what I mean? And at the same time, you're also helping the businesses that's offering this sort of services. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So that's an awesome tool that I highly recommend if you want to buy any of these, high-end softwares and services. It'll be awesome. Okay. All right. So any other question within the digital marketing, please feel free to ask. This is for you. This is, hey, Kim, how was your live streaming businesses going? Let's see what other questions I have right here. Okay, nobody asking anything. Okay, here's another one right here. Let's see how to communicate your services, how to communicate your digital services to your in-house team. How to communicate your marketing system in-house team. What does that mean? David Johnson, how do you make a fan page? That's easy, man. How do you make a fan page? What kind of fan page? Facebook fan page? Let me show you. Let me show you how to make a... I'm assuming you're asking about the Facebook fan page, right, David? So basically, you can go to facebook.com/pages. Okay, and from here you can see what it says create right here. Create. See that? Create. Click on that. And there you go. See, if you're into nonprofit or you're a public figure, you can pick this one. But since you're in business or brand, you're gonna select get started, and there you go. Give it a name, select the proper category, and just kind of follow the step-by-step process. Simple as that. Okay, it's pretty much self-explanatory. So you go to facebook.com/pages. Okay, now if you want to learn how to create you want to understand before you jump into making or taking the risk of making a mistake, you can also go to facebook.com/business. Right? Let me show you something here. If you look at the facebook.com/business here, when it says get started, it will teach you how to create the pages, right? Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, or you have to worry with WordPress and Oculus. Actually, completely sold out. Okay, I can't even get one. But from here, you can learn a lot of stuff about, for example, right here. See, learn online learning, Facebook page lessons. So this is a free resource from Facebook. It's all there. It's completely free. Okay, so check out facebook.com/business. You can learn about Instagram, Facebook ads, Facebook pages, Facebook analytics, you know what I mean, for agencies like us, developers, industry. So a lot of resources are freely available for you. Okay, it's all right here. Completely free. Okay. So be careful from some of those so-called guru ninjas that try to sell you how to do these things for a crazy price. I'm not saying don't set up a training course and sell it. That's totally fine, because you have your own style of teaching and your own methods. That's perfectly fine. I'm talking about some of those shady people that have to be very careful. Wazifa, while on Facebook, can you show about the what is it about national level? What is that? Advertising. While on Facebook, can you show about advertising national level? I don't understand what you mean by national level. Me no understand. What do you mean by national level? When you run the ad, there are several categories that you have to pick, right? There are several categories that you have to pick, and based on those categories, you can what do you call it? And before actually, you know what? Before talking about what is it? Let me pull it up right here. Come on, ads. The Chrome is slow. Oh my god. That's why I don't like Chrome. When I go live sometime, the Chrome gets so slow I can't even I tried advertising and only local area comes up. No, that's not true. You can select the location. Okay? You can select the locations. So for example, before you run the ad, okay, before you run the ad, one second, I got some client stuff here. Before you run the ad, you gotta do what I call the quick research, right? The micro research. Let's see. You gotta check. Let me show you right here. Let me just go to my account first. Come on. No, not this one. I want to use the dead account here. Okay. Okay. What in the heck? Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. So right here, this is your ad manager. You go to the ad manager, and from here, you're going to look for audience insight. Okay. Once you go to audience insight, you're going to pick everyone on Facebook. You see, United States. So what do you mean by you couldn't pick? If it's all United States, it's going to be all United States. If a specific area, then I'm going to do a research on a specific area. So let's say I'm going to remove the US. I'm just going to pick San Antonio. What did it? San Texas. There you go. I'm going to pick San Antonio, Texas as my location. Okay, and let's say I'm into yoga. So I'm going to type yoga. Let me go with something a little bit more specific. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to type yoga instructor. There you go. Wow, nothing for yoga instructor. Y'all don't like the instructor? That sucks. Go back to yoga again. Yoga teacher. Okay. So for example, right now, this is just a quick example for the fitness and wellness. Let's say I'm into the yoga niche. Here in San Antonio, like almost 400,000 people are interested in yoga. As you can see, 55% of all Facebook and 45% of all Facebook male and female in the age group. See that? This will give me some ideas about what kind of audience are interested in my yoga classes. I can look at their gender. I can also look at their activities. Like, do they click on ads? Looks like they do. They like pages. They like the post. They comment. A few of them share. And also how many of them on mobile, right? And what type of mobile device, iPhone or Android. So these information are very good to have. Then I got the Bexar County, 38%, and San Antonio, 43%, a little bit of Austin right here. And what kind of page they like as well. They don't like anything? Okay. So this is a quick information, right? It also shows me their job titles, the veterans, military, business and finance, education, sales. So these are some of the information that I can get about the audience, right? Now, when it comes to creating the ad, when you click create the ad, okay, when you come and click create the ad, you have the option, let me see, you have more than, I believe close to 15 type of categories that you have to pick. Okay, you see that? This is for more like, getting Facebook like pages, for more for brand awareness. This is where the traffic gonna go to your website. This is for mobile app installation. This one is for getting more video views. This one is for lead capture. You can basically create a form, and when somebody click on the ad, they're not gonna go outside the Facebook, but the information can gonna be selected from the Facebook pop-up screen. And if you want more people to send you messages to your Facebook Messenger, you can select that ad option as well. This is for like e-commerce type of businesses. And this one right here, the reason you get the yellow screen, because this is for local business, like a mom and pop or local front store type of businesses. So right now it's not going to work because most of them are closed, right? So based on what you select, right? If I select traffic to the website, right, it will ask me what kind of categories I'm going to pick, and what kind of audience, and I can actually select the audience. I can select the location that I want to focus on, whether it's a nationwide or it's a specific city. But here's the problem though. If you are going to focus nationwide, it depends on how much money you're investing. And this is a very common mistake that I see some small businesses do. They put like $500, let's say, for a week, right? But Facebook tells you for $500, there's a potential reach of, let's say, 2,000. Okay? But when they run the ad and they select, let's say, nationwide or specific states, the number of the audience that you're going to see in the audience potential reach possibly could be like 250,000. So the $500 not going to do any good if the ad's been set up for 250,000 of people to see it. That makes no sense. That makes no mathematical sense, right? If the Facebook says if you put 500 and 2,000 going to see it, that means your potential audience reach should be lowered down to at least 10,000 or 5,000, or to the amount that you're putting in for them to see it in terms of like the eyeballs, right? And the only way you can do that, if you go back to the interest option, see what kind of other interests they like, what kind of other behavior they do, so the audience potential reach can be reduced, okay? And when that happens, that basically means now that particular ad can be shown to the Facebook user several times until they make or take that action. Okay, so it really depends. So from there you can actually set up the location and whatnot. Okay, this is your ad set. See, you can set up the traffic, the creatives right here where it says audience, create on your audience. So once you did the research, now you can create the audience that you want to target to. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, the audience size. So right now it says like 500,000 people. There's a potential reach for 500,000 people, right? And of course, this bar has to be in the middle. It cannot be on the yellow and it cannot be on the red. Okay, so let's say if I'm targeting 25 to 45, you can see the number is going down, right, to almost 250,000, right? Let's say I'm gonna focus only both of them. That's fine. Here's the interest. Now, if I put a price, this is for $20 budget, right? And it says here for $20 budget, only almost 9,000 people going to see the ad. So the 250,000 makes no sense to me. Like, why I'm going to run an ad for? Because the money's going to basically going to be run out. It's just going to be used up. It's not going to reach the 250,000. It's only going to reach the 9,000, right? So you either put a lot of money to reach the 250,000, which is going to cost a lot of money, of course, or you reduce the potential reach, right? Something close to 20,000 or 10,000. In order to do that, you have to come back under the interest. Let's say they are into yoga. What else they're into? Let's see. If I'm only do hot yoga. Okay, let me select hot yoga because that's what I do. I do hot yoga. There you go. Still, the potential is still right here. 250,000. So I'm gonna have to mess with these details and the connections and play with this until I can lower the potential reach, because I'm only paying like $20 a day. Does that make sense? Or 140 a week. If I add $50 a day, now it says 17,000 can see the ad. Does that make sense? So if I cannot spend where all the ads going to be shown to the 250,000, then I got to come back right here and start putting more interest that is close to what I do. Maybe select specific location, maybe just in Leon Valley area or the medical or a specific zip code until this number goes down. Make sense? So it doesn't mean it's going to be wrong to do it that way. I mean, some businesses, some of my colleagues, they leave the 250,000 because what they explained to me that sometimes the Facebook algorithm tries to pick the first one that sees it, and that's about it. But for me, I have a team that follow the same model, and some of them exactly follow my model, and that is lower the potential reach interest so we can make sure that the ad can be shown several times to the audience and not only once. Because what happens when it comes to the actual ad, people don't quickly take action just because they saw it, right? Sometimes they have to see it several times. Sometimes maybe your friends are clicking like on it so they can see it on their news feed. Sometimes maybe one of your friends are leaving comment on the ad, and that's how you see what's happening, and that will help you to basically click on the ad. Does that make sense? So any question on that one, David and Wazifa or Kim and Sarah? Okay. So one of the question was here, how do you communicate your marketing knowledge with an in-house team? Well, the thing is, when I do some, some of my services, what I do, I provide consulting. So advertising agencies basically going to bring me in to train their in-house, let's say, sales team, HR, the traditional advertisers on how to utilize the digital marketing. And a lot of the time what I see, and this is some of the things that my colleagues, my friends and business associates in digital marketing go through, is that sometimes customers don't understand it, or the rest of the in-house team don't get or understand your language. Okay? So that is something you have to take some time to educate them and explain to them. There has to be some sort of unity and open communication because there's so much you can do to explain, and you cannot be explaining forever, right? Because the sale companies or sale team have their own lingo. The media team with the video production, they have their own languages. The graphic designers, they have their own languages too. So when you as a customer go to graphic expert and tell them, I need the website that pop out, that makes no goddamn sense, okay, to them. What does pop-up mean, right? They don't get it. So if you don't know how to explain it, then you have to sit down with them and explain to them your ideas and vision so they can translate that and put it into an effort. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, specifically in the digital marketing, when we talk about conversions and landing pages and analytics, we heavily focus on data, right? And sometimes we call it data science. So what it means, things that make sense to me, hey, Birdie, what's going on? It's been a while. Things that make super sense to me doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you. So that's why I find it kind of a little bit funny sometimes when people ask me, build the basic site or show me how to do this sort of thing easily. Well, guess what? Everything I do is so easy to me. That makes sense. So that doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you, right? So that's why I have to lower down in terms of explaining things. Like I have to just even that my business partner Jeremy Roberts, but every time I think that I'm explaining in a baby language, but he comes and kind of back me up and explains to his customer what I meant. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he has an amazing skill in terms of communicating when it comes to how to understand, from different level of job position to marketing and whatnot. So this is something that will take you some time, but for sure you do have to communicate and explain that when it comes to marketing, people think marketing is like, hey, here's a flyer, just make it. No, marketing is not about that. Marketing is about, it's more than that, right? And think that sometimes works. If it doesn't work again, it doesn't mean whatever you did was wrong. So I'll give you a scenario. So one of my clients, I've been running Google Ads for them for almost like 3 years, right? So one day out of the blue, I don't know why, they just noticed it right now. Last year, they came and told me that we've been running this almost for 2 years, but it looks like in November, for some reason, the traffic went down. Okay, so I said, okay, let me see, because our actions, our strategy didn't change, right? Sometimes the traffic goes down, it could be due to other reason. Could be environmental, like maybe, I don't know, storm or crazy stuff like nowadays was happening. So what I did, I looked at the analytics and I did a comparison from 2017, 2018, and 2019. And I told them, look, you see this data don't lie. The only difference is when I came in, I basically increased your traffic to anywhere between 50 to 80%, right? But if you look at the transition of the graphs, like, going up and down, you can see they're very consistent for the past 3 years. Like exactly on this month, the number went down. That could be there's something happening on this month, or maybe that's just the behavior of your customer on how they act around this month, right? And the other challenge is when some people ask you, like, how this thing work, try to be very patient, because whether it's in media or on the graphic or marketing, you have to understand that, again, when I say things are easy for us, it doesn't mean going to be easy for you. So we have to find out words that only baby probably can understand, and take our complicated mathematical stuff and simplify it to explain it to you, right? So you have to do your best to understand what do we mean when we say this, right? And not just speak from your own perspective, right? When I get a prospect or client tell me, like, for example, one student told me that when I was talking about the subject of writing a content for the purpose of the search to find it and index it and send you some traffic, and also to build your credibility as the expert in your area. So the most common common type of statement I get, nobody's gonna read this, or I don't read this. Just because you don't read it, that doesn't mean your customer don't. Okay, that's not how should I say this? That's not something smart to say, right? Because there's no logical reason behind it. Like, what's your backup? Like, what's your data? What's your proof? Do you have like a case studies? Do you have like some sort of research paper done on this, or other agencies did some sort of research or information to back up your claim, right? Saying things because you see things from your perspective or your perception doesn't mean what it is. Does that make sense, folks? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, right? So that's some of the frustration. Like, I mean, sometime when I have prospects ask me how this thing work, and I know that this answer might take me like 2 hours, I basically tell them, okay, let's set up a meeting, and here we go. Here's my invoice before we start. Why? Because you're taking my time to explain you something that I'm not sure why you want to understand it, unless if you want to do it, right? Again, I'm not saying don't teach and train your customer. You have to, because when your clients are educated, this is where they can make the best decision. You know what I mean? What's going on, Awesome? Thank you for tuning in. So education is very important, and that's why I highly promote the concept of, educate, train, give, provide, because I want them to understand how things work. Then they can appreciate your efforts and your skills and expertise, right? Because you don't want to end up just, explaining, like half of the time and not able to deliver and fulfill the project. So when I speak to a sales expert, I don't ask them too many questions, because I look at their record, I look at their skills, I learn from them. I'm not going to ask them too many questions. In fact, they become the expert, so I'm going to go to them for advice, right? When I sit with a media person who was amazing in the work, if I'm curious to learn how things work, I will ask them. But when it comes to like skills and strategy, I don't argue with them. Make sense? And same thing with my team. My team has a freedom of disagreeing with me, and sometimes they even get upset with me. That's kind of hilarious. I mean, like they work for me, but they get upset with me. You can do that at any company. You probably get fired. But with me, I allow them to do that. Because, for example, one of my, this amazing lady, she's a super awesome coder. I mean, she can even code the whole website from her iPhone. So when I send them a project, right, they understand, they have some knowledge about digital marketing. They have some knowledge about conversion. Some designers are just designers, right? So when I send them a project, I tell them, this is what the customer wants. This is the objective, right? This is my feedback. I think we should go this way. And my team will basically tell me, if they disagree, they will tell me, no, we're not going to do this, right? But I'm not going to spend too much time asking them why. I already know why they're disagreeing, because they do have a knowledge and the skills on how this thing should go about. Makes sense? There has to be some sort of trust. Now, the only time I might ask them, if I'm confused and I want to learn for the sake of knowledge, to learn more, because just because they disagree, that doesn't mean I'm going to follow through. Makes sense? So I do listen to my team to get their feedback, and guess what? 80% of the time they're right. You know what I mean? So allow them to do that, because when they feel that they have a say so and they have control in how they can put the project out there, because they do care and I care, so I have to show them that respect. Makes sense? So there has to be some sort of balance in terms of, like, when you communicate with your team, know their strength, right? Know and trust them. Then let each one of them do what they do best. Because if you let each one of them do what they do best, guess what? The outcome always comes great. Okay? But if you pressure them and force them and ask them to do things that makes no sense, okay, then things not gonna come out right. It's gonna be like in a halfway done. There's gonna be mistakes. You know what I mean? So that's very, very important. So for people that in the HR, in the sale business, in face-to-face communication with clients, or if you're in marketing, or if you're in the media, if you're a designer, if you're a consultant, understand that each one of you have your own strength, but be open to listen. Or if you do hire somebody, that's it. Khalas, let them do what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, if you're going to ask them bajillion questions, I mean, it's nothing wrong to ask them a million questions, but there has to be a purpose and reason why you're asking. Are you asking so you can learn and apply it again? Right? Like when I hire, for example, a copywriter, I'm not going to ask them a question, why did you wrote this way? If I'm going to have a copywriter team to write a content for a landing page for my customer, I'm going to tell them this is a niche, this is a project, this is what they want, here we go, do your thing. I'm not going to tell them why they did this. In fact, I have this story with a client here in San Antonio who runs like more than 30 companies, very, very rich guy, crazy, awesome dude too, by the way. So we work on a project where running Facebook ads for his clients. So he had like probably 12 dentists, and he was selling this German-made, what do you call it, dental, I forgot the name, it's dental something for the dentists, right? The way they created is all fancy looking, nice, but there was no conversion. They even had a image of a car, like a fast car. What is the fast car got to do with freaking your teeth? Right? So what I basically did, and of course I let the team run the ad, and the ad has a white background. There was a picture of a lady with a smiling face, but the picture was faded because according to Facebook policy, you're not supposed to have a smiley face when running an ad for a dental kind of business or for denture products. And there was a very simple call to action that says, if you're in pain, call us. It sounded like cheesy, but my team knew what they were doing, so I never asked them, right? But the client got pissed off and got mad. What is this? This makes no sense. I told them, listen, Mr. Client, just give me a week. Okay, just give me a week. I'm going to show you. Right? Just okay, give me a week. Right? And there you go, for sure. After 1 week, we brought him more leads than the one that he was getting with his own in-house team that were making the graphic and the design. See, they were good at graphic design, but they never understood the data and the language from the copywriting point of view. Make sense? So now when he saw the result, I mean, usually he's supposed to say sorry, but some people they don't admit that. So he saw that. I mean, he was like going berserk, right? And my business partner Jeremy was laughing at it too, because there are things that it might not make sense to you, but when you hire an expert to do the work, let them do their work, okay? Unless if you're in the same area. I have some customers, amazingly, that are actually been coding for like 20 years. So now we know how to communicate with them. In fact, when they communicate, when they communicate with my team, the flow is so amazing, right? I have this one customer, amazingly, he's been coding for like 15 years, but right now he's running a business and he hasn't been coding for a while. So when the communication that goes back and forth with my senior web developer is so nice and smooth, right? So he doesn't have to explain every single thing versus somebody that doesn't know what the heck we're doing, okay? So if you are a developer, if you are a consultant, if you are into media and design, it is good that you can also put your educational part of pieces of the information out there so they can understand what you're doing. And when you close a deal, you have to make very clear to your customer that, listen, I'm going to build this project. If you have any question, if it extend more than like 30 minutes, then I'm going to have to bill you, right? Because your time is money as well, right? Typically, most customers Thank God most of my clients don't ask me a lot of questions. They just hire me, make me do this thing, and we'll do it, and I'll show the result, and they're happy. There are some, they still ask for every single move that you make. Even if you fall on the street, they're going to ask you, why did you fall, right? So now you have to come up with an excuse or maybe some sort of explanation. You have to probably dumb it down to, I don't know, but it's kind of gets silly sometimes, right? So anyway, so that's my answer for how to collaborate with the in-house what do you call it, team, is to make sure that you have that sort of open communication and explain to them, okay, just do this and that's about it. Okay. And on the other hand, you can really take this to advantage in a sense. What I mean by that, when you get these questions, guess what? You can take this question and start writing a content about it. You know what I mean? So when you get this sort of question from your colleagues, students, or businesses, take these questions and turn them into a content, whether it's going to be a subject you're going to talk about it on podcast or live streaming or a blog or a post. So look at it from that way. Even though it might be frustrating sometimes for some of us in the digital type of business, but utilize those questions to create a frequently asked question for your pages. So eventually those kind of questions can be more visible on the voice search devices. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's see. All right. Are there any more questions about digital marketing, about your business, about your website, about your WordPress, how to outsource, how to hire, what to look for? Please do ask. Please do ask. Let's see what's there. Okay, 6:35. Any more questions on the digital marketing? Like, what are y'all working on right now? Like, what are you guys doing? For those who are in business, what are you doing to help or to increase or to sustain your business? If you are not a business person and you want to start something new, if you are learning a new skill, what are you learning? What are you looking at? Huh? This is Friday. It's Friday. This dude is playing, is DJing. His name is Mark Rebuilt. I mean, he goes live and he gets like 5 million views because he took this opportunity to make like some funny music, right? So this is where the creativity comes in. Let's see. Tawsif, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Does Gmetrics reliable for testing site? I saw Bing.com is getting F on Gmetrics. Yeah, because Bing sucks, man. Right? Remember, Bing is a search engine. GTmetrix looks at your website. Okay, Bing is not just a site with the page. It's a lot of millions of things running in the background. Yes, GTmetrix is still reliable. It's meant for websites. Okay, like typical website with pages. That's what is it for. So Bing and web page test, but not Google. Google speed test actually is not that reliable. I would say maybe it's only 70% accurate. That's why I look at GTmetrix. Okay. Wazifa, how many hours monthly does a person devote to their site for updates? Hey Jenny, what's going on? How you been? How you doing? It's been a long time. Good to see ya. How are you? Got any question for me? Let me know. So Wazifa was asking how many hours monthly does a person devote to their site for updates? Well, here's the thing. It depends what do you mean by updates, Wazifa. If you are here's the confusion with so many businesses when they ask me what do you charge monthly for website update. But let me explain to you, there is something wrong with that question. This is where the language comes in, right? When we talk about website maintenance, optimization is still not clear, but let me go there, okay? Let me go break it down, and I'm gonna go back to, I think you're talking about SEO. That's a you should be a professor. Yeah, that's what I've been told. I mean, I've been invited several times from teachers at the SAC, San Antonio College, Our Lady of the Lake, UTSA, and Conrad Ward. These are public universities here in San Antonio. Yeah, I'll go there once a month and give classes to undergraduate and graduate students, by the way, on business and digital marketing. But anyway, going back to the question, how many hours? Let's go ahead and talk about what is the difference between website maintenance and website updates and website optimization, because that's a difference. When we say maintenance basically means that if the website requires a plugin update, if there's an issue with the code, if there's an issue with the malware, if there's an issue with the security, right? A website technician will basically take care of it every month. Just like when you have an insurance for your car, you take it to the dealer, you make sure everything is good to go, oils are checked, everything is good, tires are great, right? You check it, just like human being. You have to maintain the health of the website. So that's a website maintenance. I mean, it can take an hour a month, 2 hours a month. It depends on the scope of the site itself. If it's a website with, let's say, 500 pages and it has a security system background and bank system, it's always going to be a watch out. So developers have a software that keeps track of anything. So when something happens, they get an alert. It's not that they're going to put their eyes on the website like 24/7. That's like inhuman. Even that's like robotic. So that's the maintenance side. So when we talk about maintenance, means to make sure the website is fast and secure and hack free, okay, or security. That's maintenance. It has a different price for that. It doesn't matter how many hours. They can probably spend 2 minutes to make sure everything is working, okay. Then you have website updates. What is that? There's two different things here. If you're talking about a specific platform like WordPress, that means you're updating plugins and the core files and the themes, right? But if you say update, in a sense, what I mean by that, to add content, that's not WordPress. That's not website update. That's called website management. That means if you are going to send me content, then I'm going to basically on your behalf upload, tweak, adjust. That's called management. There's a separate service for that, monthly management. Okay, so you have maintenance, monthly management, and updating backend plugin based on the platform. Depends on the platform. If you go with Wix and Weebly and Squarespace, there's no maintenance because those companies take care of it because you're paying them monthly. So that there's no website maintenance for those kind of services. When it comes to update, they don't even offer that service either because you have to update the content yourself. Make sense? When it comes to optimization, that's different too. When we talk about the SEO optimization, it depends on if they are doing on page or if they are doing on page and off page. If they do the off page, then it's anywhere between 27 hours to 55 hours a month. Why? Because they do link analysis, they remove toxic links, they build content distribution, they research other competitors, they do a lot of work involved in the off-page optimization, right? So, and if I don't know if you saw that article, because somebody asked me a question the other day. I put a funny comment about, giving somebody $100 to rank for your website. That will never happen. So I shared an article from Moz about how much people charge when it comes to SEO and why they charge that much, right? So let me pull that article because I follow the same thing. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. 600 plus agencies, right? So don't get mad at me when I charge you like thousands of dollars a month for this, which is actually considered cheap in my industry. Other companies charges more. Okay. Yes, maintenance. So here we go. This is more than 600. So Moz did a research case study with more than 600 about the pricing model from 2011 all the way up, right? So 200 from the United States, from different countries, right? So there you go. An average cost for SEO is anywhere between $76 to $200 an hour. Okay, there you go. So by the project base, anything from $1,000 to $7,500 by project base to do an SEO. By monthly retainer, anywhere between $250 to $500, only like 13%. $2,000 to $5,000, 11%. Right? These are like big agencies. Like I'm in this bracket right here. Okay, so this one will give you more detail about so many things and what it involves when it comes to just the SEO price. Okay, so look up for moz.com/blog/SEO-pricing-cost-of-services. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, understand the difference. So when you ask a company, because another common conversation that I go through prospect when they say something like, I have this web person develop the site, but they sucked at SEO. I'm like, well, it's not their fault, because not every web developer knows search engine. They just develop the site and they just know basic of maybe some minor basic on the on-page SEO because they follow the guideline of Google standard. And that's about it. So don't blame them, because not all of them know everything. They're very, I don't know, maybe I can talk about myself because I know this stuff, right? There are a few contractors that are hired that know the web and the SEO, but they're not too many. Make sense? So you got to make sure that they understand that, because I have part of my team, all they do just design. They just design, whether it's a wrapping, graphic, product, website. That's all they do. They just design. They don't do coding. So the web design will be passed to the coder, the programmer, the developer. Then they start coding it. Make sense? And I have this one individual that does both, which is also great for me, because now the product can be delivered faster. Now, does this person get paid more than the designer and the developer? Yes, because this individual got two skills, so he needs to get paid a little bit more. Make sense? So yeah. Any more questions about business, digital marketing, website, your challenges in life? Okay, let me know what's going on. How can I help you? What kind of resources do you need? You just have to let me know. You just have to ask me. Okay, Waziwa said, yes, I understand. And by the way, yes, I got the access to your analytics. I gotta just check it sometime today or next week and let you know what's going on there. Elon Musk basically said that what I find most surprising is that CNN still exists. Oh my god, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, y'all gotta stay away from the mainstream media, almost all of them, because most of them are full of nonsense. Y'all gotta stay away from it. Let's see. Okay. All right, folks. It is 6:46 p.m. Central Time. Do y'all have any more question? Let me know. What else you need help with? Something got stuck with? Don't be just binge jumping on watching movies for like 8 hours. That's the last data that I found, that an average people right now is spending like close to 8 hours just watching movies. Right? Do not waste your mind. Take the opportunity to do something awesome. We're able to access the Aud 2. Excellent question. Well, let me do right now. Okay. Let me check right now. Let me see if I'm able to access your analytics. I might as well just look and see what's happening in the background. Give me a few minutes right here. Okay. Do you listen to any podcasts? Oh yeah, man. Yes, I do. I do. Well, if it's business, that's one thing, and if it's right now, I'm more focused on health and immune body system because I gotta look after myself. Gotta learn so many things because you can't just. I usually don't believe uh, what the establishment and the mainstream media talks about these days, or like any other time. But yeah, I do listen to podcasts specific. I mean, I listen to business podcasts, entrepreneurial, religion, and what do you call it? Anything that I'm interested right now, because even the podcast can be visible on YouTube these days. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can. Edgar. Okay, here we go. I'm able to see it, Wazifa. I'm gonna show you what kind of podcast I used to listen to. Where did? Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm looking at your analytics, Edgar solution, but guess what? I don't see any activity. Okay, I don't see any activity. So that means it's possible that this could be the wrong account. Let me go to the settings, property settings. That's a domain. And that is the code. Are you using, what are you using for, I gotta see if this code is added to your website or not. Okay. To see if this is added to your website or not, because I don't see it. I don't see not a single traffic. Even if I click, I'm supposed to see myself visiting the site, but it's not coming up. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to figure out which are the what do you call it, the UF factor, not the the UA code that you're using. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is your tracking ID. Okay, this is your tracking ID. It has two account number. I noticed. Maybe it's the second one then, because this is the ID right here. When I go back, which is the correct domain, but if I go to home, click on the audience, see there's nothing there. If I type, let me just go back, in January 2019, see there's nothing. Only one time here in November, there's only like, I don't know, what is this? Probably like nothing, zero. So I'm not sure if this is the correct account. How is it that I get email from local Google traffic? Well, Google don't call. Just to let you know, no way Google going to call you. If you run Google Ads, that's the only time Google support team will call you to help you. And that's not for every customer. Sometimes some customers that have ad account, they will get a call because they want to help you out to set up the ad. Okay. For years, I never seen anybody for analytics or Google My Business page call customers. So maybe that's for the Google Ads. But this one, as you can see, there's nothing there. So what I need to do, I need to figure out in your backend. Are you using any type of analytical or analytics plugin? Do you have like an analytics plugin that you use on your website? Because I want to see if the code is there. If that code is not there, then that means that's not the one. Okay, so let me see if you have any kind of analytics here. Let's see. Documents. So you might want to check the other analytics account to see if that's the one, possibly on the back end. Yeah, I don't see anything. Security, analytics. I don't see anything for analytics. Let me go to theme. Not sure if there is a plugin. Well, sometimes you don't need a plugin. I mean, if whoever built it, it's possible they just added the code on the back end. You don't always need a plugin. But right now, I don't see any plugin. If there's no plugin, at least they probably hard coded the code, and I don't see that either. So why don't you look at the other account? Here's the thing: when you log in, Wazifa, when you log in, you should see something like this. When you log into analytics like this, all you have to do, you go to home, you go to audience, click on overview. So since you have two accounts, look at the second account, and if you see if there's any type of bars going up and down. Okay. So it's possible that this is not the right account. That's why it's not pulling up anything. Or it's possible that the code wasn't added. See, when I click on tracking code, property, this should be your tracking code right here. Okay. So why don't you double check, look at the other account and see by yourself, go to the home, right? Go to home, then click on either real time, because you can, like for example, look, I'm going to go to your website right now. See, if this code was on the website, it will show up right here in real time. But nothing is coming up. This is the real time traffic. And I'm visiting your website, but nothing is showing up. So that means this is not the right account. Because if that code was configured on the back end and I'm visiting the website right now, it will show up right here, but it's not showing up. See, it's not showing anything. So there's a couple of possibilities. Either this account was never added, okay, or you might have a different Google Analytics account that's added and we need access to that. Make sense? So that's what you have to do. So you mentioned to me that you have another account. So go ahead and check that. To see if the podcast that I listen to, Joe Rogan, Lewis Howes, The Top by Nathan Lutka, WP Tonic, Planet Money, Good Life Project, A Players, Knowledge for Men, Mad Mamluk, The Cave, Peace of Mind, and of course Kim Doyle, she's one of the expert of WordPress, WP Elevation, The Jackass Whisperer, that's what's his name, Scott Stratton, okay, WordPress Business Podcast, Self Reset, Startup Club, The Income School, okay, The Social Media Examiner. So these are some of the business, except for Joe, right? Then of course on YouTube there's so many other podcasters as well. But yeah, I do listen to podcasts better than radio, actually, because you can control what you want to listen to. Right now we have this awesome dude by Chris Cano. He does the podcast, the Chris Cano podcast show for like in the real estate business for veterans and stuff like that. So podcast is very powerful. I mean, right now there's so many podcasts popping up, especially within our community. So you can take the podcast, which is originally supposed to be an audio base, but now you can put it as a video format on YouTube and take the audio and distribute it on the other podcasting channels. So it's very good stuff. So a lot of amazing podcasts out there from so many topics, so many industries, so many niches. So that is something that if you want to get into it, I would say get into it fast. Every Sunday, I'm doing a podcast show with Imran from the Walla Way, because his podcast is about self-development, leadership, business, and management. So every Sunday, I'm doing a show with him for his podcast channel. Okay, so you might want to check it out. All right, folks, it is 6:57 p.m. Central Time. Do y'all have any more questions? Please feel free to ask. So Wazifa, let me know. When you get a chance, check out your Analytics, log into it. If you see any bar going up and down, then that's the one that I want to get some access to it. Okay. But because I'm sure you have it, because when I run the WooRank analysis, it did mention to me that you do have Google Analytics. Let me double check. Come on. Give me a few minutes here. What the? What's up with WooRank is not working today?
Are you still in your...
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, no.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah, we have a background noise. You know what I mean? You need something or?
No. You want some background noise?
Huh? Everyone's talking about the background, like mesmerizing. I guess I'm gonna make all my because this background is actually close to my company. If you look at my company, it's the same similar color, you know. So I'm just gonna probably make everything with this background. Yeah, I think Salo should license it. You know what I mean? Start licensing his background. Let's see. Yeah, you have Google Analytics. I see it in the WooRank, but we gotta make sure that you have the correct one, or give me the access to the correct one. Okay. To do that, Wazifa, just log into the analytics and check out the bar up and down. Then that's the one probably is working. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being with me here this evening. It is 7 p.m. Central Time. If you all enjoyed watching this live streaming and you benefited from it, please tag your cool colleagues and friends, business people. Share this, invite. I would highly appreciate it, and I'll see you all back on Monday. All right? And keep sending me those questions. Thank you, and have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.